say, Ben? What do you want to say, Jeremy?
Had a great time.
Yeah.
Nova Scotia Bushcraft 2019. My first time out. You guys, even how many years have you gone?
I think I've come to every one. I think I missed one, in all honesty, but I know I've been to the most of them. I know it was the first one last year, this year, so I think I might have missed one in there, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yep.
I'd have to check with my better half. She's the one that accounts for everywhere I'm at.
Schedule.
Pretty much.
And I got to the very first one and this one. So.
Yeah, and I was going to come last year, but with logistics and it didn't work out, so didn't end up coming last year.
But it was a good time. You gentlemen were both here yesterday. I unfortunately did not make it down, but you guys came in around lunch hour, afternoonish.
Yeah.
There was lots of people here then. There was, just as I arrived in, there were still lots of people here. I did a little 360 there, which I'll put up somewhere here, and you see everybody packing up, but it was a good turnout. Lots of people here.
A lot of chatting, a lot of comparing of gear and some trades and stuff.
Lots of trades.
I got myself a new axe, so I was pretty excited for that.
I heard about the axe from your better half, asking if it was a need or a want. But in any case, you got an axe.
I don't understand. It's a new axe.
It is definitely a need.
I don't understand the question.
Need or want.
So this year was a little slower, but that was just some logistical things that turned out. But there were still lots of people here, lots of stuff happening. There was a kind of a gazebo area over there where you guys had to hide under for a little bit. You had some unfortunate weather.
Had shelter from the thunder and lightning for an hour or so.
It was really a
Apparently
reprieve from the heat, though.
Yeah.
Like, it was so hot. It's hot right now.
It's blazing right now.
Yeah, since the sun came out, the humidity's coming up and it's getting sticky.
Yeah.
But
A lot of people, a lot of stuff going on. I mean, you wouldn't be bored for a second.
No,
Lots to
great
do.
for kids too. Kids are all here.
all kinds of kids, you can probably hear them in the background.
Yes, I think we had from everything from 2 to 22.
Oh, car alarm. Speaking of kids.
So, you said this was your first year, Jeremy, and if anybody doesn't know, this is Jeremy, LoneWolf 902. We'll flash the link up for your channel there, that way we can give you a shout out, because it's great to have you here chatting with us. So this was your first year here. What's some of the things that you like that you could tell people that maybe never been to the Nova Scotia Bushcraft Gathering that they can look forward to?
People are very accepting. I've spoke with a lot of people here on Facebook and Messenger, so I kind of already established a little bit of a relationship with a few people, having not met them in person yet. So coming here for me personally, it was nice to actually meet them in person and be able to kind of pick their brain a little bit. But I'd say if anyone's interested in coming, don't feel shy, which is a big thing, because I know sometimes you get these groups and like we all know each other. And then you get someone new that comes that doesn't quite know this person and might feel a little shy, but everyone was really good. They'd come right up to you and shake your hand and, hey, I'm so-and-so, and yeah, it was really good. I like that about it.
Yeah, actually, that's just to add on to that. The very first year that I came here in 2016 when it was over at Delaware Lake, that was my first time ever coming out and starting to produce any kind of videos or even getting into the bushcrafting community away from just doing it myself. And just like you said, I came in, I was a little hesitant, maybe a little shy, and people literally were just, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Ready to shake your hand, ready to shoot a story with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like they treat you almost like family in its own kind of weird little bushcrafty way.
Yeah.
But what about you, Ben? You were here yesterday too around noon, lots of things going on. Did you see anybody interesting?
Oh, a lot of interesting people. I never got the names that I really want to, but I know I'm going to pick them all up on Facebook later. So that's the beauty of this place. We're all based off that. And the food. I mean, there's so much food going around.
A lot of food.
Me and Jeremy kind of made a mistake. I think we both cooked up some steaks there mid-afternoon. We'd rushed around all morning trying to get ready in our own respective places. We show up and we were both kind of hungry, so we threw on the steak. They come over like, "What are you doing?" Like, there's like chicken and beans and all this food going on over there.
And that pretty much happens every year. Like there's always a ton of food. That's one of the...
That was my big mistake, is I didn't know how the food was going to work, whether it was a group cook or if you kind of did your own thing. So yeah, we made the mistake of cooking our own food.
Well, I don't think it ever really... Well, yeah, there kind of is a basic plan, but as you said, everybody's so family oriented. Like if you just walk by, they're gonna come on in, try this. Like it's very, very open, very welcoming. A lot of fun here, a lot of stories, a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge.
Yep.
This year we didn't have any demonstrations, unfortunately. As we said, there were some logistical problems there, but generally there's, even without the demonstrations, still a ton of people here that'd be willing to show you anything that you ever really had any questions about with bushcrafting. So, or just being out in the woods in general.
A lot of setups to check out too, and
That was the interesting part,
I mean, guys were pulling out gear and setting up tents and hot tents and this and that, and they're pulling down, and people are playing with them, and I think
Very
Lawrence
hands-on.
said it pretty good the other day that like everyone seems to check their egos at the door, like nobody comes in, like I know everything, everyone seems very open to listen.
Water's cold.
Random kid screams, I'm sure that's one of ours.
Yeah, somebody's.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing too, talking about having new people come and they're first timers, is a lot of people are smart in the bush and they have their own ways of doing things, but they might be shy of doing it in front of others because other people may judge. That's not the case here. I
No.
didn't find anyone judged anything or anyone. If anything, they stood back and said, that's a neat way of doing that. So,
Well, just to add to that a little bit, last year when I did the fire demonstrations here, the char cloth and the bow drill went great. The hand drill did not go good. Like my third attempt in, I'm like, I look like an idiot. And everybody's like, oh yeah, humidity's up. Like they gave me every excuse in the book why it wouldn't work. And
yeah.
like you said, just super awesome people. But as you said, it's a great place for people that may have a little dabbling in the outdoors to come in and get a little bit more information. Or if you have no experience in the outdoors, it's a great place to come in and get some experience and look at some gear and get to play with some stuff. Everybody here, for the most part, is more than willing to let you try anything that you see, or at least look at it a little bit. I mean, everybody has their special gear that they may be a little hesitant to hand out, but that's to be expected on some level. But no, I mean, I can't think. Just here a few minutes ago before we started this, I was walking around looking at the smoker and stuff down in the palacey corner down there.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
But yeah, it's a super great place. We've had people, I should say the Bushcraft Gathering has had people from, was that Manitoba? We were just
That was
speaking with there?
Manitoba,
So,
yeah.
and I know in past years people have come up from the States. There's been some people show up from, what's that show called, Alone?
Yeah.
We had Mitch, we had Wayne, we
Wayne.
had, I thought we had 3 or 4 of them come in over the years. I can't remember everybody. I'm sure somebody can comment up on this and add the names.
Mitch
in,
and
but I
Wayne
mean-
are the two I met. I don't know who else.
Yeah, that was the first year. I know Wayne Kullcraven and Mitch
Mitchell.
Mitchell,
Mitch
what's his
Mitchell.
last? Mitch Mitchell? Okay. He has his own YouTube channel as well as Wayne does, and I'll be sure to give them a shout out on this too, as long as they don't mind us name dropping.
Yeah.
I'm sure they don't. They're good guys. Once again, everybody in the bushcraft community is pretty
Pretty easy going.
easygoing,
Yeah.
pretty. I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for. They're very developmental. They don't mind the name drops. They don't mind their names being used and stuff. They're very open, friendly. So.
Everyone seems pretty courteous of everyone, so that kind of helps too.
Yeah, like
right?
you said, they check their egos at the door. Everybody's just here to have a good time, tell some stories, have a few laughs, maybe a few drinks, some good food.
Yeah.
You got your son lighting the fire last night?
Yeah. My son ended up lighting the communal fire. Struggled with it a little bit because he was trying birch bark earlier on. He's never started a fire with just birch bark and a fire steel.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up giving him a little bit of jute twine, but it was a little damp and the jute twine had got wet, so he was kind of striking, and I left to go get a dry piece, and by the time I came back, it was burning. So
So we still got her.
He was hitting
Yeah.
a great flame or
the
spark
sparks were
constantly.
just
hit,
hitting it.
and all of a sudden one hit, and just
and I was looking at it like that should have lit 10 times over by now, but yeah.
But as in
one hit
most
the
things,
perfect spot. She pulled
humidity.
Yep.
Humidity plays a big
Yeah.
part and stuff. Humidity's been up the last few
Oh yeah.
days.
Oh, it's
and
up,
even,
and we had
even
rain.
just that.
The wood
like,
that was sat on was wet. Like
Yeah.
everything's damp.
Yeah.
Well, don't you remember the great bow drill competition in 2018?
No.
Worked great over here on the tarp and stuff. We moved it over to the other spot in the grass. No, one person actually got an ember going.
Wow.
And I mean, there was 3 or 4 groups, and man, they were at it for like an hour.
I heard.
So it was an interesting time. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. If anybody's ever wanting to come out to this, jump on the Facebook group. It's the Atlantic Bushcraft. No, that's our Facebook group. Nova Scotia Bushcraft Facebook group, and from there you'll get linked into the gathering group, as well as Jeremy has his. He'll put some videos up there too to link back to his channels. And once again, it's just a great community feeling. Like there are some other Facebook groups out there that I've kind of gotten away from, and why I came back to the Nova Scotia Bushcraft group. that if you're promoting your own stuff, they're really against it.
Yes.
And they're very, no, this is
Yeah.
mine, and they keep it their cards
Yeah.
very close to their chest. And
And I've experienced a lot of that personally, posting, because like people, admins of Facebook groups, they'll start their group, and it's kind of their baby, and that's because they start it, so it's theirs, and they don't really like, can't say they in all general, like, they don't want to draw their audience outside of that group.
yeah, because they feel like it's stealing from them.
Right, but when you contribute any kind, like a lot of groups, our group, Nova Scotia Bushcraft, is very accepting to any kind of video link, and it's awesome. So you're able to do that and share your experiences with people. And I find other groups, they will allow you to post a video, but they don't want you to put the link to go to your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
And
I've run into that before
it's
too.
a little strange because at the end of the day, it's still a video.
Yeah.
But if it's relative and it's educational in any form, it has its benefits.
No,
You know what
for
I mean?
sure.
Well, I think it grows
So-
the group, and I mean, you're mutually growing from it.
Yes.
Well, that's just it.
But
It's group
if
sharing,
you don't
right?
allow people
Yeah.
to do that, then
You never go
eventually
anywhere.
You
You get
walk away
stale.
from that
You're
group.
almost filtering that group from having great content to grow.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the channel that's going to grow, it's also the group's going to grow, because it's going to say, hey, I found this person on this group, and then that person, and then it's known as a large group, right? So I think it helps both.
No, for sure. I completely agree. Like anytime I get the chance, especially with yourself and a few other people, like if they're willing to share, that's a plus in my eyes, because
Yeah.
now you're not only promoting them, they're promoting you. You're expanding your community out beside that.
Yeah.
You're also sharing a lot of other, I'm not going to say knowledge, but different points of view on maybe
Yeah.
the same kind of stuff, because I mean, nobody does anything the same. Ben and
No.
I, we went out and had a camping adventure there, and we learned that we each have our own ways of doing things. But not that it's right or wrong, it's just, it's a different way of looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think we've both adapted a few of each other's things.
Yeah, I
That
learned a
was
lot about gear that I had always written off, and like the saw, for instance, prime thing. Like I never carried a saw. It was one of those things. I have an axe. Why would I bother? And
Yeah.
now I'm probably gonna run out and buy the made of yours.
I'm definitely selling that saw as well.
Yeah, that thing is awesome, right?
Egg Cannon 21, if you
Yeah.
wonder what we're talking about.
Yeah, Boreal 21.
Yeah. We've always on this channel, or this podcast, we've always promoted other groups. A lot of them have no idea that we talk about them. But if we see something we really like, we want people to find this stuff and learn.
And that's just it. I mean,
That's-
it's
that's
not
our point.
shamelessly plugging.
Yeah.
It's literally like these are knowledgeable people that you can go out and take a look at. Like Jeremy, his channel, there's tons of stuff on it. Lots of adventures. You go out, you do your thing. Good information. They're entertaining.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch them on video. I mean, you can download the audio so much. Like, I mean, it's good all the way around. And so many
Yeah.
other people here do the same thing. Like, they do their own thing. But it's never boring. It's always informative. They may all be doing the same thing, like just going out and camping. What could be great about that? Well, until you watch it, you really don't know. But I mean, there's always something interesting.
Yeah.
It's always a good time. And I mean, you wouldn't do it if you didn't enjoy it. And
No,
I
exactly.
mean, that comes through on
It's
the
gotta
stuff
be-
you do.
It's got to be fun, right? If
just-
it's not fun, it doesn't make sense.
I got a kick out of one of the conversations last night. They were talking about your channel, and like, everyone was like, "When he camped on the rock," and it's like,
Actually, I remember that. I seen
Yeah.
the picture. That was actually cool.
That was a fun camp, yeah.
So I mean, you can almost live vicariously through other people by doing stuff like this and networking and sharing.
well, I definitely do, because this guy can't camp as much as I want.
And I find myself too, if I'm stuck, because I work shift work, so I'll
Yeah.
be stuck at work and I'll come home, and I can't physically go camping, but I watch all kinds of YouTube channels and videos, and I get my camping fix.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I had fun watching that. That was cool.
Yeah.
Now I go back to work. So it's kind of a break from reality.
Exactly, and that's the way I look at a lot of your videos. Like I'll go home.
But-
It was actually Ben that introduced me to your channel. I'd seen you
Yep.
post a few things up,
Yep.
and I kind of had you on my list, and you were backburnered, unfortunately. I'm not
Yep.
going to be shameful and say that wasn't the case, but I mean,
Yep.
it was there. I knew you existed, and then I started watching it, and I'm like, you know what? This is a lot of like how I go in the woods and just have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really got to enjoy it. And you actually came up quite high in the handful of ones that I'm always looking to look for new stuff with.
I think I stumbled on you completely by random, honestly.
Really?
And the funny thing is, it took me forever to realize that 902 was like Nova Scotia. I was like,
Yeah.
You said something about down here in the valley. I think it was when the guy got lost, and you were
Search and rescue.
yeah,
Yep.
search and rescue, and I was like, I know where he is now.
I'm close to him. Yeah, I get
closer
a lot
than
of
you
people
thought.
ask me about the 902, and it's Nova Scotia's area code. So
Yeah, no,
whatever
it makes
area
perfect
codes
sense
now.
after I think about
yeah.
it. But I was just having one of those, blonde moments, I guess.
Yep. But anyway, long story short, if you're ever wondering about coming out to something like this, just do it. You wouldn't regret it.
No,
No.
I mean,
I regret
it's-
not coming before.
It's not expensive at all either. I think you
No.
pay a couple bucks just to help
Yeah.
cover the fee because it
Yeah.
is a group area
But what
here.
you get in return for what you put in is much.
I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
couldn't buy a book to get the
No.
information that you're going to get
No.
from this place for that cost. I think
No.
it's 10
You
bucks.
couldn't get the food,
Yep.
Yeah, the food alone.
The food alone, yeah.
right?
That was great.
And everybody brings something.
Yeah.
Everybody brings something.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of sharing.
So,
Yeah.
trade blankets. That's the point I wanted to bring up. The other reason to come out to something like this is come out for the trade stuff. There's always somebody that wants to get some new gear, try something different. They're always willing to trade something off that they may have two of, or they've experienced all they can out of it, or it's just a piece of gear that wasn't for them.
I got the story of the axe I had. I was talking to one guy, but he said, yeah, that was my axe, and I
remember
traded it to
that.
this one, and he traded this one, and it went back to Andrew, and then it came to you. I think Andrew owned it 3 times.
And yeah, Andrew said he got it back, and then it went to someone, I believe, and then to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of neat how that one piece, and it changed.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same axe. It was modified, and it was changed to
Yeah,
just
Peter
different.
LePack, I think, had it, was it?
Maybe
Peter
it
could.
was.
That'd be something he'd
Maybe
pick up.
Yeah.
Anyways, he said he just shaved it down and made it better to
Yeah.
handle. We had so many great conversations. Hard to even keep them all straight in your head, right?
Yeah.
But we were all around the whole thing, both of us together
Robert,
and
do they
separately,
just
talking
want
to
it left
people and
here
had great
or put in
conversations
the
and
thing?
joining in the conversations, and no one ever looked
they
at you
want
like,
it
what are
left
you doing
here
here?
or
It's just
put
like
in
they
the
pull you
thing?
right in and get your opinion and share things with you and tell you great places to go and things you can do and things you can see and talk about gear and how they use it.
Yeah. Pros and cons and
Oh yeah.
all kinds of great stuff.
I've said it before, you'll never live long enough to learn everything on your
No.
own, but
Oh, God, no.
as a group,
There's so
the
much.
group knowledge is just amazing.
Yeah.
No, the big thing for me, and every year I've come to, and we've said it 100 times, and I keep beating a dead horse with this, but it's just the camaraderie that you come here. It is a community. It is a almost family feeling, and that is the big thing that I think everybody can agree that they take away from this. Like, you come here, you feel welcomed from the time you step out of your vehicle and start setting up to the time that you basically are pulling out the gates.
Yeah.
Everybody's here to have a good time, and nobody will give you a hard time or look down on you for a lack of knowledge or a lack of understanding or newness into this
Yeah.
sport, industry, hobby, passion, whatever you want to consider it. It's just awesome to come here and talk to people that are like-minded. Like, there's people packing up there now, they're still smiling and waving at us. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a great time and a great feeling.
Even a few guys that were selling things, like there was never any pressure for anyone to buy anything. And
No.
half the time you're talking about, like, they're saying, like, I brought these things out, I brought in 4,
Yeah.
I thought it was neat, and they're like, yeah, they were sold out 2-3 hours in.
Yeah.
Gone. They were
And I
gone.
brought a big stack of stickers, and myself, I was a little hesitant to hand them out. And then after, everyone was like, no, bring them over. So I gave out some stickers and whatnot. And yeah, it was pretty cool.
Much like ourselves, we give out some keychains. I
Yeah,
don't even think we have any left to show.
I got none left to go.
So we do have the hats now. I don't know if we ever brought
We mentioned
any
them.
attention to
I
that.
gave you one, but yeah.
Yeah.
so, but no, I mean, once again, if you're ever thinking of coming out, just come. You will not be disappointed. You will not regret it. Oh yeah, this is the
Handkerchief.
handkerchief, which has the Atlantic Bushcraft Adventures logo on one side and Atlantic Bushcraft Adventures on the other side. So that's something Ben and his family are working on. I can't take any credit on any of our swag at this point. So,
I got to contribute somewhere.
I mean, you contribute more than you think, Ben. You always say that, but I think this would be a pretty boring channel if it was just me. But
It's been a good partnership.
so far, it's been a lot of fun, and it's hard to believe. I think we're coming into our 24th or 25th
I think
episode.
last
I
one
can never
was
get it
24th.
straight.
I think we
Getting
someone
up there,
pointed
So,
out.
I mean, that's how many weeks we've been going. We've hit every week, which is awesome. We're starting to network and expand out a little bit now, so hopefully we can rub elbows with a few other people and continue rubbing elbows with some of present company, and
Oh, yeah.
we'll get some more exciting
Yeah.
stuff in there because I don't think we're cutting anyone's grass by what we do.
No.
So I try to keep my other junk separate from this, and that gives us a little broader spectrum of stuff too. So, but no, one of these times I'll have to get out with you guys. I know
Yeah,
you guys
oh,
have
yeah,
already done your
yeah.
own thing, so
Yeah, no, we'll definitely do.
I'll be the
Yeah,
outsider.
we already got
looking
a
in.
click figured out.
Yeah.
But you're more than welcome.
Yeah.